Try it a little more like this.
Like what?
If Mark thought he got hurt here, then I don't even know what he would call the divine butt whooping he got in episode 8.
Think, Mark, think!
Now, usually I never buy into the hype of anything, whether it be movies, shows, or music. However, damn, did I miss out on something special for the last 2 years. The show Invincible follows the story of an everyday 17-year-old kid, Mark Grayson. The only thing not so normal about him is that he's the son of the strongest hero on the planet, Omni-Man, and he's half Viltrumite. In other words, he's an alien. The best things about the show is Mark's character development, the gore, the realism, and Omni-Man. Mark's character development is great to watch. He starts off being a naive kid who thinks he can save everything and everyone. Towards the end of the show, especially the season finale, his core, caring character is still there, but he's grown to learn how he can't save everyone, that his relationships will suffer, and who to trust. Props to Steven Yeun for his voice work and putting on a good performance. He does a good job at showing what it would be like for a teen to have the responsibilities of a superhero. Pretty much like being Spider-Man, as an example, but with a lot more gore involved. Everyone in this show helps Mark grow in one way or another. This includes the teen team, Cecil, Omni-Man, Amber, and so on. One of my favorite moments in the show is episode 5. This episode is titled, That Actually Hurt, and I'll be damned if I've ever seen a more perfect description for this episode. Up until this point, Mark has fought a few villains, but has never really gotten beat up super bad. In this episode, Mark teams up with Titan, a mercenary who he has beaten up before, to help him take down Machine Head, a crime lord. In this episode, they infiltrate the building and take out Machine Head's men. In fact, everything's going a little bit too smoothly. Just as they got into Machine Head, he reveals that the chip Titan gave him beforehand allows him to see all possibilities. So to counter Mark and Titan, Machine Head summoned some mercenaries, and they did not disappoint. These mercenaries consisted of Battle Beast, Kursk, Furnace, Magmaniac, and Tethered Tyrant. So they start fighting and it's fire, but then both Mark and Titan proceed to get outclassed. Partway through, Mark loses temper and starts fighting back. So you're telling me every time this kid gets mad, he can actually fight? Mark proceeded to ward off most of the mercenaries, except for one, Battle Beast. You would think that a show, especially a superhero one, wouldn't go too hard on the main character. Yeah, not this show. Battle Beast then decides to actually try a little, and man, oh man, does this brother go on to give one of the worst ass whoopings I've seen in fictional history. No exaggeration, I think Mark broke every bone in his body, like damn. The Mark is laid flat on the floor like it's a WWE 3 count. Then the new Guardians of the Globe pull up to fight Battle Beast 6v1. They may have pulled up, but Battle Beast pulled out. Pause! Everything from their blood and guts, this man, thing, did it all. Battle Beast really added a whole new dimension to the phrase, blood, sweat, and tears. Just when I thought Mark was at death's door, he came crawling back for more. Unfortunately, Battle Beast isn't so kind, as he struck him with his spear/giant hammer. After this, I would have quit on being a superhero. This type of ass whooping isn't worth it. Black Samson gets furious at this sight and decides to scrap one more time. I hope he didn't have any plans of being a writer, because Battle Beast snapped his hand like, you don't need that. Then he proceeded to throw him like a ragdoll, similar to how Hulk did Loki in Avengers, but a lot more brutal. Then Monster Girl goes in for round 2 and proceeds to do some actual damage on Battle Beast, even drawing a little blood. Then she went on to get a double-decker ass whooping with a side of fries. Just when you think Battle Beast might have let Monster Girl had enough, he then proceeds to cave in her face. Yes, you heard me right. With 2 rocks. Like, bro, where's the Avengers when you need them? Damn! This show really doesn't pull any punches. No pun intended. At the end, Mark's left so bloodied and beat up, I bet he wished he would have died. Time went on to move about business, leaving Mark behind. It was then revealed that Isotope was on Titan's side. This further cemented Omni-Man's point from early in the episode, that Mark should be careful with who he trusts. If only Mark knew who Titan really was, oh man. This episode could have had a whole different dynamic to it. I love the show's realism. Everything from the cursing, the innuendos, and common sense, like Amber knowing Mark was invincible. Now, let's get to the most interesting character here, Omni-Man. This man made one hell of a debut when he cleaned up house with the original Guardians of the Globe. Like, what'd they do to make him that mad? Seriously, that massacre at the end of episode 1 had me in shock. Even though I've seen that scene before, damn, it still hit harder than a speeding bullet train. There was 7 of these guys, and Omni-Man managed to not only whoop them one by one, but kill them too. I'm not sure what Omni-Man's obsession with heads is, because he took out each and every single one of theirs like, I guess you won't be needing that anymore. Everything from having their heads snapped, bashed, and obliterated, this brother did it. Even though we know he's guilty as hell, we still want to believe that there's good reason for this. But the more you watch the show, you start to realize just who Omni-Man is. Everything from his interactions with his family to characters like Cecil. When he saw the new Guardians of the Globe being formed, he stood behind a glass wall and said,
Pathetic.
this man deserves an easy top 3 at the table of Black Force energy. Omni-Man may be a full Viltrumite, but he's a part-time menace too. At the cost of teaching his son, Mark, a lesson, he gives him one of the worst one-sided beatings I've seen in fictional history. The fact that Mark still wanted to be a hero after that means one of 2 things. Either he's real stupid or real brave. I would like to go with the former. Just a random shout out to Eve. That girl got done dirty in the worst way. It's one thing to get cheated on, but by one of your friends who can clone herself and make it a foursome? Crazy. I'm so glad I watched the show recently, because I remembered that season 2 is coming later this year. Have fun watching this show if you haven't already. Let me know what your favorite moment in the show is so far, and use your brains to think!
Mark!
Think! Excuse the voice crack.